Hey guys, I'm back again, and today is day 23, I believe. Day 23. Today's day 23 out of 60, and currently I'm supposed to have a goal of 192 design, and I have 102 actual design listed, and I have these total of 199 that I need to create, finalize, and so I need 192 today as of to upload and list. And basically, I'm not necessarily behind. I just need some time to review all the designs I have so far. And usually, I have about 97 that are supposedly completed. Just need to review, and most of the time, it usually means probably out of the 97, I'll have about 60 to 70 designs that could be listed. So if say today, which will not happen, if I finalize some of them and upload it and everything, then I would have got maybe 100, maybe say, to be nice, 170. So I'm not too far behind. I just need to have the next few days to focus. So now let's see. On Wednesday, I don't have time at all unless I wake up early tomorrow to do this, which is possible. I could spend a few hours in the morning, but tomorrow I am also driving home, so I want to make sure I get enough sleep. I don't want to drink coffee, but again, most likely I will drink coffee anyway. So if I wake up tomorrow, I could get some stuff done, and then usually then on Thursday, Friday, then I'll be at my mom's. So I will have time. Most of the time, I'm assuming around this time, Thursday, Friday, at my mom's, I would be finalizing all my designs. I think that would be better. At mom's is a little bit distracting, so it would be more of a just more mindless works more so than designing, which I obviously don't really design anyway. It's mostly just AI, so they're all pretty much the same. I just need to do it. Um, Last week I got 53 done. Took me. This week I haven't done anything yet, so we'll see. And let's see. Basically, tomorrow's basically like no work day already. I already know that. By the time I get home, it'll be too late, maybe, or I could squeeze an hour or two in before I go to home. I don't know. So basically, Thursday, Friday is it, and then Saturday I have work. I have go to the nail salon unless I wake up at 6, which is possible. Saturday, Sunday, wake up at 6, and then get some stuff done after work. These 2 days is go home. I have work, my nail salon. I'm planning to go home. Maybe I'm gonna stay until Monday, possibly. I do my remote job, and then I'll do some work, possibly. Maybe I'll go home even on Tuesday. We'll see. Basically, the whole week would be at mom's. Come back home Tuesday, possibly, or yeah, maybe. And then Wednesday I'll be back in Vegas, and then we'll see. I don't know if we are doing anything this week. Maybe this might be a free week, relax. Kids will be there, but I don't think we have anything planned. Maybe just a no more for now. We won't have any. I don't know yet. Actually, I gotta talk to Phil, but there might be something going on. Basically, he's trying to get the kids out camping or something every week. They're here, so um, the summer schedule is like every week we get them, and they skip a week. They're at their mom, then we get them for a week. Okay, anyway, so here it is. Last week I got a few designs. Let me see my unfinished designs. I got some pretty nice ones, I would say. Just go through them real quick. It's pretty cute. I like it. These are cute, huh? Pretty. I don't know. Oh yeah, I had to get rid of this. That's weird. It's a color theme, yellow, pink. What the heck? Did I put this as a quote? I don't know. The circle around, I might not even use it. But this looks better. Let your dreams grow wild. So I gotta get rid of this. I just saw something. Well, this is fine. This would be nice with a little quote. This is so cute. I don't know what I should write here. Like this is a sloth in schoolwork. Dark Halloweenish. It's so cute. This needs to have something, a saying. This needs to have a saying. All these would have a saying for it to be more sellable. Like don't hurry, be happy. This is so cute. Only all you need is love and maybe a nap. No problem. I've been the drama. This one I didn't realize. I just noticed it. What's the you? All I need is love. All I need is love. I would need to put an I somewhere. All I need is love. And oh my goodness, this is so cute, but we gotta do something. I'm very happy. Some more cute ones. Spirit, dead gorgeous. My dreams. Jezebel looks really. Some Halloween theme. Like supposedly people are buying these type of themes already. I don't know. This is really nice. To me, I would put this on a Tumblr. Simple floral stuff. Got a bunch of these. This would be nice with a little quote too. So that actually would take some time. I don't know why, but this to me looks so beautiful. Look at this, the detailing on this. And I love this type. More of these type. Yeah. Florals. I got a bunch of these. I've got oh, these are cute to me. Pretty. Just like I love colors. Nice, nice. These are the same. It's about the cancer robot. Cancer awareness. More of those. The other one was normal cancer awareness, and then there was some of this Halloween-ish theme. More of these are supposedly in. This one seems a little stretchy, huh? Sugar trash. Cute one. I guess that's it. I'm gonna go and see if I can. Oh, that was my title. Move this to Cortex. Sometimes when you are trying to reach a goal, and it feels so far away, and you just, I don't know about you and me, maybe I start to think, am I doing the right thing? Like it feels like I can't reach it. My design. But last week though, I realized my design is actually not too bad. I just been choosing the wrong ones, the wrong AI generator, and this is not bad. Like I don't even need to have any more of a to-do list or my SC. Like right now I'm actually already on the next week. See, I didn't do much on this one. I didn't do much on that one either. So like 6:22 basically to 6:30, 28. give me a little bit of I did some Eddie's work today. I don't know if I did that, but whatever. I didn't need to update this still. So something I need to do. And, I haven't done that yet, so all my to-do lists are still the same. I need to check up on what's actually oh yeah, I want to do this sign out. Basically I had camp again. Oh, this was another week. Let's see. Tuesday. Yesterday we came home pretty early and we cause his brother, we went with his brother and then we had to go home early because his brother had some appointment and he somehow didn't tell us ahead of time. So it was kind of like a last minute thing where I was like, damn, I prepared for all this and then we're going home. Yeah. So now today's Tuesday, right? Tuesday. So I got to, let me see, I need to update this. And then I also need the sign note here, which I never finished. So it's a good sign note to work on. And close that. So all this stuff is the same unless, oh no, what happened? Here. Okay. Yeah, I didn't really post anything. I'm running out of time, so I don't really have time to do that right now. And I didn't feel like my channel is really not about camping. So now I'm just switching gears. Okay, open this. I'm gonna do a quick 15-minute just to see what's going on with Etsy now. What do I need to do? In terms of that, I need to go here and I need to write this still. Like this is something that needs to be always be part of my thing. Right. Oh, I have to remember this. Okay, anyway, so in order to do this, maybe I searched it. Okay. So this is what I need to search for. Trendy. I need to search for this trendy. Tumblr. Okay. So this is still supposedly no, but actually I need to go and check. This could be based on my search, so this is not right. What I do from here is go all filter this stuff, and I'd rather go to bestseller instead. Go to bestseller. I know what's really selling. Okay, so this seems to be in. And obviously, because a lot of these are the AI. See, Highland cows, sunflowers, butterflies, still in. A lot of these stuff, still the same thing basically. Butterflies, these are popular now, bestseller. So, see, leopards and stuff. I mean, I gotta research a little bit more if I want to see more details. My thing is messed up. Okay, duckies. So not that one. still same. I guess somehow it's I don't know about that, but yeah, some florals, cowboys and stuff, cactus. So they're kind of still the same idea right now. I don't. I'm not a expert or anything, but it seems like information. Suspect. I need to learn how to make this. Oh, these are bestsellers. This person has a lot of reviews. This is cute. Oh, this is like, this is one of those things where this is the brush stroke with the affirmation. So this is one of those that I need to learn how to make eventually. It's like so cute. I just can't analyze this though. It's annoying. It only works on my laptop. But as you can see here, GPU bought in the last. This is really nice actually. I would love to make this something like that. Holly. So pretty. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, I need to make this type of stuff. This is what I want to do eventually. Create trendy designs. Horse and flowers. Which I was trying to look for one for Keith's brother and my brother as well. More horse type and cowboy-ish. Most of these are very girly. I should try to specialize in a men tumbler too, because it's really hard to find those. So I'll see what I can do. But overall, it could feel like the sunflowers are very much in. Gentle preventing dropout. Ooh, it's Halloween. Beetlejuice. Ryan Dye School. Can't see the image right now, but I get the idea. So it's kind of the same, kind of. I want to make a note. Post this on it. Okay. Personal, same thing. Amy's to do designs. I need to learn the brush strokes. Here, I just do it right here. I pretty much brush strokes. I only want to do some suspect design. It's so cute. And then I want inspirational stuff. Yes. Also, I wanted dear person. Some of men don't really use it, but it depends, I guess. Anyway, so now we're gonna go to Dick Bailey's, see if there's anything. Give me inspiration. It's a teacher theme. This is really cute too. Let me try this one real quick. Let's see. Okay. Wow. How did this happen? Okay. Okay. So we like Dolly 3, yes. I want definition. Then we need to go here. Okay, let me see this real quick. Okay, please review this prompt. And adjust it for a man. Let's see. More masculine. Okay. A seamless design of classic back-to-back theme as a cream linen texture. Feature study for screen graphite gray mechanical pencils. Navy dark crown includes gutter burgundy open traditional chocolate geometry. Let's see this real quick. We'll go from there. Now we're done with this. Let's just close this. Okay. And then that is quiet. Let's see what pops up. Just for fun, I just want to see. While I wait. Oh. More manly-ish. These are pretty. Pencils. Leaves. That's nice. They're both pretty nice, I would say. I don't know why the pencils are. This is like a matte. See what the design shows. Let's see, I kind of like this one more because of the way it's laid out. Like the pencil, this pencil looks like it's, right? Yeah, or this one, let's see. Yeah, I kind of like this one more. Extend. I would say this AI generated design, it's better than Canva. It has more details and more realistic. Okay. I can feel kind of disappointed in some of the designs I had last week. I thought they were cute until I looked at it more carefully and realized that they had some issues. That just means more time wasted. This is nice too. Oh no. Yeah, it's okay. Well, the reason why is because, yeah, it's okay. Let's do this again. But still, I think just got a lot. So itchy right now. Okay. Let's go back here and see. That's weird. I'm supposed to have. The other one didn't work. Oh, that's the one. This one has a white spot. Let's delete this. We do it again. Okay. What's this? What's this about? Why am I'm surprised. Like the things that people are really looking for. Ah, I wish someone actually like. I don't get it. I guess it's a thing. What can I do with this? Um, okay. This is the full design, but I would like to create this for a as tumbler. So I would make the image smaller and also have a few other items around it surrounding it. Maybe, can we adjust it so the design would make sense on Tumblr? Let me see what it says. Okay, this is fine, but I'm gonna adjust some things. Okay. Of course, I'm not gonna use this. Create. Create. Page. Notice. Design. We don't ever use design Tumblr in there, or else it's gonna have these Tumblr on it. So we are gonna do it like that. Make sure. Let's see. Oh yeah, huh? I forgot to put in. I had 25 minutes of piano today. I've been kind of slacking on that department. 12 hours so far. Oh my. Oh, okay. I guess. Should be 2. Let's see. It's not helping with this. Oh well, let's see. Can you imagine all this is in one big Tumblr? How is it gonna work? No. I don't know. Where this one? Would someone really buy this as Tumblr? Well, there's cute peace sign. I will go with them. I'll go take both of them. Let's upscale first. Oh. It's so itchy. I mean, okay, anyway, like, I don't think anyone's really listening, but I've been kind of burnt out with the camping. And I'm gonna tell Phil, I think I kind of told him, like, I think you could tell. Like, it's tiring. I've been kind of wondering if it's normal. I mean, is it normal to feel tired from this, or am I just weak or something? Like, I just suck. I don't know. I think this one has way more design. It looks way better actually. Crazy. How come people were into this? Oh. Cute. The lotus and sunflowers. It's like crazy. Dun 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 dun. Oh. Oh no. Oh yeah. Okay. supposed to be teacher. I know how to spell. It's frog. Okay. So itchy. Gotta put all the way up as best as I can. Okay, good. And then this one goes down, so that way it's not so. Oh no. Oh no, I have to do this. Okay, done with this. Okay, what else can I do today? I really like the designs I had last week. They're so cute. Like these are really nice. Not these, but these are so cute. I want more of these style. They may be different color or something. I like this. So hard, it's not like here. No, that one's cat. How to the cat one? Okay, or more stress less. No, that doesn't even make sense. Keep, for your fuck's sake, keep smiling. Okay, that's good. Feeling sharp and totally unbothered. This is so cute. I like that one, the hedgehog. Okay. I like this one. Like this. Oh. Let's see. Let's see what happens. I would like to change the as you know. Let's see what comes up in here. Let's see. They're so cute. I'm addicted to those. I only have one about reading because that's like back to school. Reading is good. In a few days, then Canva will be back. I need some more Canva. Oh my goodness, let's see. Really? What? posture. Come on. How am I gonna fix this? Unbother. These are so cute. That's too bad. How would I fix this? Is this cute? I just need to. It's always hard. I guess I can just use Canva and just fix it. I mean, it's really yeah. If not, then I just remove this altogether. What else can I say? I like this too. I mean, all my designs so far has been this sunflower and stuff. I wonder if I should do something different. Oh, they're so cute. It's the same thing. Well, I guess we'll have to see. Yeah, I do have another series that makes more sense with oh wow. I think I like the autumn one. Or maybe this one's good. Maybe this one. Where do we get that? Which one? So I need to write something on this. This kind of sucks. Okay. It's another frog, right? see. Dandelions. What is to do one that's cute but also has some Halloween theme to it? That would be good. Oh yeah, that's true. Can you that's wow, look at that. Look how shiny that looks. It's so bright. It's so cute. It's so nice. This one doesn't have anything. That's too bad. It's super cute. This one's way better, but they're both nice in some way too. Aww, how cute. This is way better. It doesn't have the text. This is so cute. I want both, regardless, but they're just so cute. Okay. Let's real bad. So, that color in that thing. Beautiful. Pick one. How cute. I still like this one. Let's see. It's not as colorful. It's still beautiful. Look at the glow on this thing. Look at the glitter. Look at the glitter. Look at the glitter. Taking this one too. So cute. I make these type all day. What's this one? The box. I don't want to even waste my credits on Ideogram or other. I don't even know. So, but Dolly 3 has so far been giving me really good results. Oh, sleepy. this one. What the hell? Please give the dog a treat. What in the world? This is crazy. Where does it smell my feet at? So cute. Oh, I gotta use it. Use. Oh, this is weird. This one makes sense, kind of. I'll just use this one. And this stuff. So itchy. Excuse me. That's fine. Okay, next one. How about frogs and toads? Yeah, wolves. Maybe something wolves. Let's see what they say. Okay, let's see. Quote. The quote is, how are you doing this? Ah, that's cute. Very cute. Let's see what happens here. I've been using Bailey's prompt, but now I'm getting the idea now. Some itchy stuff. Alright, let's see. Oh, so cute. Oh my goodness. So cute. So rich. Oh, how cute. And this one. Hey. How you doing this Halloween? I'm not sure. What? That's cute. How you doing this Halloween? At least everything's spelled correctly as well. I like both of them. They're both cute in their own way. Do we need all that stuff? I don't know. I like to move it up. Probably. Like this. Oh man, that's okay. Do I need that? Nah. I'm gonna change it. I might fix that part as well. It's cute. I've been enjoying all this so far. So cute. So cute. It's like a vampire or a witch? It's like both. Oh well. Still cute. Oh. Alright. I don't like that part. It's okay. I fix it later. Fix it there. Now. It's okay. I don't know. Delete that. Okay. Download. It's like a witch and a vampire at the same time. Okay. What else? Nice. A snake. Good one. Let's see. What's this? A tree. That's what I work from. Yeah, Wolverine. Looks like a dog almost, actually. Looks so cute. Oh. What did we come up with? Let's see. Costume. What the heck? Hold on, I just trying to understand this. Please swing this. What? Hold on. Is that right? Did I spell it? What does it mean? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Very nice, very nice. Now let's go back here. This is cute. Give me some words. But just like, give me some more words. I guess. Can you make this thing? It's cute. This sounds cute. Let's see. Let's see. This is so cute. Ah, it's itchy. Oh my goodness. Did I press it? Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Oh. Oh, okay. Let's see. Mm. It doesn't make sense. Like, why? What kind of s'more is this? What's the eggs? And then this one. This makes sense at all. Mm. Ah, okay. Let me go back to this real quick. Let me try to understand it a little bit more. Nevermore. I get the s'mores. Hold on. S'mores. What is it? Let's see. Good question. Here's how it works. One. Oh, okay. In that case, it's fine. I don't understand. I want some s'mores right now. Just can I eat s'mores? I'm gonna go down and make some s'mores. I like this. Let me go ahead and edit this. Okay, fine. We'll go with that. This is good. Nevermore? More like trick or treat, some more. Ready for feeling a little keep calm and calm. Which wins the candy? Nevermore than lately. Aha, this is so funny. I like this one. Black feather entirely embodied. I don't see this Halloween. Oh, I bet you that's so cute. Why don't you can see it? I would assume. I kind of see the idea. Let's see what AI comes up with. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see this one. You know, we had a carnivore, no, a keto board dinner today. Well, the kids had mainly carnivore, and I had a little bit of cucumber, so mine was ketovore today. So yeah, I should stick to that. I didn't eat since we ate pretty early, like maybe 6:30 or so. So I'm gonna keep it that way, and I don't wanna. Even though I saw s'mores, but I said nah. Shit. This is so fun to write. Well, because I'm not really thinking of anything. More like AI is. I don't even know if this will work, but we shall see. Even. Oh, let's see. That one doesn't have any quotes. I don't know why it doesn't do that. No quote. Quote is the best part. Ah. Oh man. I don't know, but I like both. I just need to put the quote. I love this quote. This is cool. This one actually is better. You can see that. Let me go ahead and do left scale. I don't know how I would do it. I would, first of all, let me fix this. What's going on? Oh yeah, server. Server's more than one. So another one I like to. Coffee before class. No. That's okay. I think that's it. Okay, give me one. Owls. Who's got the treats tonight? Any other? Any other quotes? Anything just for the Halloween spirit? Yes. Let's see. Mm. I like this one. Wishing you a beautiful Halloween. This one sounds like a wolf, an owl, and a wolf in a witch costume. Let's see what comes up. What? Are you serious? There was something in here that shouldn't be. Please be free. Maybe it's the wishing, but it's just witching, not bitching. Calm down. Oh no. Oh well, let's see. This works. This one's not 4. Oh, that works for some reason. I have 4 to pick. Which you hoot? Really? Oh man. Alright, let's try again, but this time it needs to be. Oh, I wonder. Let's see what happens. What's the difference? It's cute, not cute enough. You might be bitching, bitching. I feel tired. How long have I been doing this? 1 hour, 12 minutes? Let's just do summer wonder. Summer school. Back to school. We need to more back to school. Oh, there's nothing else. Well, you can see the designs are better here. Look at their eyes, so cute. I guess I like this one more. Stare at this. Oh, enough Halloween now. Let's do something else. This is like so itchy. I also have one bite right here. Alright, enough. I think we need to go back to just reading. I want to do some reading stuff. Let's see. Let me go check some daily inspiration real quick. Yeah, I'm just going through some things. Oh yeah, I need to do something like this. Oh, my neck. Some of these are like last year's. Bookish Tumblr. Oh. I'll get something else. I'd rather be fishing. How about I would rather be reading or something with it? Sure. Okay. Oh, this is cool. Maybe I did over. Okay, let's see. Rainbow tumblers. Just breathe. I thought this was really nice. I really like this one. I want one for myself. I just was not able to create a really nice one. I'm gonna fix this up. Okay, let me see. I like this one. How do I fix this one? I like this one. Need help. Improve this. Okay, so the room. So, wow, that's crazy. Alright. It's an old design. How can you improve on this combining with I like this color scheme. The wildflowers a lot, like a lot. And I want it. Let's see again. See what happens. I'm not sure how I feel. I mean, it's kind of nice. They both look pretty cool. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Look at that. Look. It looks kind of cute. Oh. Oh. Oh my. Let's see this one. Interesting. Oh wow. Very interesting. Look. Let me see this one. I don't know. I need to write a quote. It's nice too, actually. Kind of like this look as well. Okay. It's like minimalist. Oh yeah, I should be listening to KG.
How to tailor it to your audience. Now, hear me out. You can still push the emotions. It will just sound very vanilla and generic because you'll have to play it safe since you don't know exactly who you're writing to. And see, I've reviewed hundreds of hours of copy from you guys in CopyLead. I used to do every single copy review every single day without any help. Reviewed a lot of copy. And I realized that if I don't know exactly who you're talking to, I can't really review your copy that well. I can tell you how well you push the general conditions. So I can tell you if you're pushing emotions right, but I can't tell you if your text is right. I can't tell you if you're pushing those emotions in the right way. I can make assumptions, but if I truly don't know the audience, then I can't really help you. That's how important specific conditions are. But as soon as you give me context of who these people you're talking to, you show me their condition deck, then I can review the copy and be like, oh yeah, maybe you shouldn't say bro right here because these are 40-year-old people. Maybe don't say that. Or, or maybe your language is too educated. and you're selling to teenagers or kids. So yeah, step 1 is finding specific conditions. Step 2 is choosing the subtext. And so before you figure out how to write something, you need to know what you're going to write, and that comes from the subtext. So decide which emotion are you trying to push with this section of copy. And I'll show you in a second like how I do this.
Oh my god, so itchy.
But this makes it so much easier to write copy. Instead of staring at a blank piece of page or a blank Google Doc, you're literally saying, okay, I need to make this feel big. I need to make this feel easy. I need to make this seem relatable to them. Now that you have those things you need to do, you can figure out how to do it, which is step 3, choosing the text. This is how you spin the Price is Right wheel to go through the different ways you can say something until you find one that really hits. So the final step is testing a bunch of different ways. Notice what I said there, testing.
It's so nice.
It's highly unlikely you're ever going to write something first draft and it's just going to be the best. It's going to be perfect. It's going to come through repetition, through testing. And this is where something like ChatGPT can come in handy. Because if you already have good taste, if you already understand your audience, you can use ChatGPT to give you so many different examples for you to then choose the best one. You can't ask it which one is the best because it doesn't know. But you can ask for examples, it'll give you those, and then you can decide which one is the best based on specific conditions. And so the key is to write a ton of examples, then put yourself in the mind of the audience by studying your specific conditions, and then decide which version of the text you think will resonate more with them. So let's go over a real life example. So I was writing this VSL for my daily channel. So my daily channel, they're not as aware of you guys are of copywriting. So on my main channel, everyone who watches me knows what copywriting is because my whole channel is about copywriting. On the daily channel, I just talk about business and life and all this kind of stuff. So I had to write a whole different VSL because it's a different avatar, different awareness level. And so what I did first was I outlined the VSL, how I wanted it to look like. And so I did this big framework, and then I did micro frameworks inside of the VSL. And then for every single one of those, the whys, I did a million different variations. And so look at this. Here's a good example. Reaffirm. Don't worry, brother, I got you. If any of those sound like you, don't worry. If you're in one of these 3 situations, don't worry, I got you. If one of these bullets sounds like you, don't worry. And this might seem like overkill, but this is how you make a cool piece of copy. And then what I did is I did like 4 variations of this. And so I put all of those onto a Google Doc where I took my favorite ones and kind of expanded on them. And then I did it again and created a V4. And so all that to say that the best copy comes through a lot of iteration and taste and time. Not to say you can't write good copy quickly, you can. But to write great copy, meaning it's perfectly tailored to the audience you're going to give it to, it pushes all the right things, that takes time. Some of the best copywriters to ever exist would spend months just doing research. Not even writing, just doing research on what they were selling and who they were selling to. That's how it should be done, guys. Anyone selling you something else is just, they're not telling you the truth.
So
they're just trying to sell you. And so here's an example. So I wanted to target extreme customer profile number 1. And so I wrote all these bullets. I just drained my brain of everything I could write. And then what I would do is I would take little pieces that I liked and start piecing it together. And then by the end, I started to get to a really good one. It's like, you're trapped in school and looking for a way out. You're tired of watching 16 to 20-year-olds get rich online while you sit on the sidelines trying to finish your English paper. You're just as obsessed as them. You're just as smart as them. But you've been wasting your talent on video games and useless classes. You're ready to lock in, make some money online, and create the future you want for yourself, but you just need the roadmap. And so that's pretty fire. I'm pretty happy with that little segment right there. But look at how it started out, right? Even though you're young, it's obvious. You know you have an S-tier entrepreneurial potential, but you're trapped in an F-tier education system. You're bored out of your mind. You need a challenge. You know you need to lock in and start obsessing over online business. The problem is you don't know where to start. So this isn't terrible, right? But it's not near as punchy and near as emotional as this one. Even though it sounds very similar. If you look at them, it's a big difference. And so that's how you do this, guys, is
I love this color.
you make sure you know your audience, and then you choose the subtext, what you want to push, how you like, what you're trying to accomplish with this section, and then you test and iterate how you can do that. And the power comes. Oh, sorry, I get a phone call. It was Caleb. If you see this, Caleb, I love you.
I need to see this
It's my
color.
editor. But and best friend.
I need to see this.
The power comes from effectively integrating the 11 variables in step 3. So step 3, when you actually choose the text, that's when you integrate these things we just talked about. So for example, let's go through and show you some things, some pieces of copy before and after applying some of these principles. Number 1, relatability. So here we have a pain bullet. Before, you can just say, your life sucks. It sounds general, it's vague. I mean, it creates a little bit of pain, but does it really create any likeness? Not really. How about after? You survive school, but the 9-to-5 grind is killing you from the inside
I don't know
out.
why these are so
You can't
nice.
imagine doing this for another year, let alone 40. What you learned in school isn't useful. You feel completely replaceable.
Oh my God,
I've been there, man.
wow.
So here, we're doing the same thing, right? Your life sucks. But because we know who we're targeting, we can create a lot more pain. And guess what? We're also being relatable. We're talking about how we felt, the way they feel. And because we know their specific conditions, we've accurately talked about how they actually feel. So they're like, wow, this dude knows me. He's been there. He can help. So you can see how that's a lot more powerful than your life sucks. This is like an average copywriter who uses ChatGPT as a crutch, who doesn't understand these things, versus someone who gets it, who's a competent copywriter. Okay, let's talk about familiarity with an offer headline. So think about this. This is like tailored to you guys. So sign 3 to 5 business owners using our proven acquisition system. So those of you guys who, before you got super deep into the weeds on this, you probably don't even know what acquisition meant. And business owner sounds kind of scary. Versus
Wow.
sign 3 to 5 copywriting clients using our proven outreach system. Do you see how it's saying the same thing?
Wow.
The same thing. Copywriting clients are business owners. You're not going to sign a client who doesn't own a business. Also, acquisition system is the same as outreach system. But do you see how I'm using words that are more familiar to you, which creates trust, specificity, and matches specific conditions? And so if you see a headline that says sign 3 to 5 copywriting clients using our proven outreach system, you're like,
So nice.
gotta check that out. But if you see a headline that says sign 3 to 5 business owners using our proven acquisition system, do you see how it just doesn't spark in your head? Because you're a copywriter. Because you don't really know that language that well. It doesn't seem familiar. Versus this, familiar. And what's cool is the more times you see this, the more you start to kind of have this liking towards it. There's obviously a fall off here, meaning like if you showed this, if you'd seen this before from 15 other people, it wouldn't hit as hard. But if you're seeing this from me 15 times, you're going to like it and trust it more just because you're seeing it more. Pretty crazy, huh? Pretty crazy. Think about a lot of you that bought Copy Elite. We've run a survey, and most people who bought Copy Elite, it was like around 2 to 4 months of you watching me before buying into the program. Why is that? Was the program any different in 4 months? Like, well, yeah, I guess it was. Program gets better quickly, as you guys can tell. But like, you didn't know that at the time. What was that 2 to 4 months? It was you trusting me and liking me more and more and more, to the point where you got to a certain point, you're like, you know what? Frick it. This is a great idea. I need to do this. I need to be in Copy Elite. And that's how we got there. Pretty cool. Next, authenticity. So this is like reaffirming and allaying fears. So if that sounds like you right now, don't worry.
No,
Simple statement.
no,
You wouldn't think anything of this, but this is what I used in my sales page. If that's you right now, I've got your back. Notice how different that sounds. And some people will get mad at me like, well, what about the females in the audience? Look, my female audience is like 2%. So if that's y'all, shout out to you. Shout out to you, sister, I guess I should say. But that's not the majority of my audience. And I found that the females who are really, I don't know why I'm saying females, the girls who really love my stuff, they just buy anyway. Like One word is not going to piss them off. But with the 98% of people who are guys, this feels different. It says, if that's you right now, I've got your back, brother. It's like, that sounds warm and inviting, and it matches specific initiatives versus, if that sounds like you right now, don't worry. And it's not authentic, right? It's not me. I don't talk like that. I would say, dude, if that's you, don't freaking worry, bro. That's authenticity. And so by putting that into my sales page, you have to be careful here because if it's a cold traffic, people don't know just by your writing if you're being authentic or not because they don't know you, so they don't really know. But because it's organic, because you guys have seen me before, you know who I am, this sounds super authentic versus the topic. Cool. Next is humor. So notice how we're using humor to amp up this easy emotion. So we talked about this earlier, right? The system is so easy to run, even a monkey can do it. Not that funny, but it is kind of conveying the emotion, right? Easy. How about this? We built this system with one goal in mind. Make it so easy, a monkey can sign a client with it. And my little brother just got a client using it. So that means we're getting pretty dang close. See, it's not great, but it's funny. It's humor. It's lighthearted. All of a sudden, you trust me a little bit more because it doesn't sound like everyone else. It's creative. You might get a chuckle out of it, a laugh, you know? And it's cool. I don't know how it's fun. It just makes you happy. It's like, that's funny, you know? It takes some of that seriousness and just kind of exhales out a little bit. It's cool. Maybe I just hate people who don't who are all
nice.
uptight about everything. That could just be a perfect thing. But I found in my experience, people just love some humor. They love if you just don't feel so heavy about everything. Next, storytelling. So you could say, I've been there too. I was broke and dumb. That's just not even a story. Just saying, hey, I've been there, whatever. Relating to their pain. Or you could tell a specific story that shows how dumb and broke you were. I.e., dude, trust me, I've been there. So back in 2009, I was so dumb and broke that I kid you not, I went to my uncle's house and I needed gas money. And on the way there, I saw someone buying cars for cheap. And so I sold them my car for gas money. How stupid is that? Anyways, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's a terrible example, but I thought it was so funny. I don't know. Oh, guys. Hey, I'm showing some authenticity, right? I'm showing you some humanity right here by being so stupid. But you get what I'm saying. Just tell a story because stories engage people and they're believable. They house a lot of these other principles inside of them. If you want to look at some of the great ones, look at the best TED Talks. If you'll notice, the best TED Talks, they all have stories. They tell a story that's relatable and conveys the concept and has humor and authenticity and it has relatability. And then you love them. You want to hear the rest of the stuff because there's actually a storytelling. Cool. So notice the confidence in the big emotion just by saying this opportunity will change your life. This could be a big opportunity for you.
What happened?
Yeah. So this is just like one little example of confidence, but it really just you'll notice by reading someone's entire piece of copy how confident they are based on like what they say. And instead of using might and could and maybe and all this, it's just this will, this is. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously on camera, being confident in the way you speak is huge. It's gonna be hard for anyone to buy a VSL from someone like, you should probably book a call because I think I can help. Bro, who wants to buy from that guy? So anyways, this is just a few of the endless ways you can integrate these principles to power up your copy and develop likeness. With some practice, you'll find that integrating these principles will not only become second nature, but you'll have so much fun creatively adding them in new ways that no one's done before. This is why we write copy, right? This is why we're marketers. It's because we want to just create powerful, effective, money-making ideas and pieces of copy. This is why we do it. And this will make so much fun. I have so much fun every time I write copy. It's awesome. But only if you understand these principles and you know how to apply them. Because it's fun because it works, right? when you make a video that blows up, and you,
this?
like one of the first pieces of copy I wrote, like, about 2 months into being a copywriter, it blew up this guy's channel. He got like 300,000 views on a YouTube video, and it was a VSL. And so he made a lot of money off of it. And it was just the most fun thing ever, because I used all these things and it worked. And it was awesome. So yeah, but due to their quantity, I know that these principles can seem a little bit overwhelming at first, but I just don't want you guys to stress it. It'll take you time to master them all, but I kid you not. Just the fact that you know this concept exists puts you ahead of 99% of other people. Like, they don't even know this stuff exists. So the best thing you can do is just don't sweat it. Just start slowly implementing these as you see them into your marketing as a whole. And what I've done is, to make these principles as simple as possible, I added them to your conditions deck template. So now you will find that there's a brand new section. Shout out to you, whoever's on this. There's a brand new section called Section 5, where I ask these questions of how can you add these things into your marketing. And like I said, we'll go over examples in just a second. So yeah, let's do that right now. Let's go over these examples in real marketing strategies from your favorite personal brands. We're going to go over Hamza, Dan Co. We've got some extras on here for you guys to check out. And then we'll go over how you can do this yourself. So let's get into it. This is the fun part. Hamza. So if you guys don't know Hamza, he is a self-improvement YouTuber. He blew up, I want to say, about 3-4 years ago. I owe a lot to Hamza because he honestly put me on to so many of these things that we're talking about now. He actually told me about the book that led to me discovering copywriting. So, shout out to Hamza. I'm not sure exactly how things are going right now. I know he's had some kind of ups and downs and changed his strategy and whatnot, but we're going to look at like prime Hamza when he was getting millions of views, making $100,000 per month. We're going to look at that. So, check out the relatability and similarity. Why I quit playing Minecraft. Relatability. How to stop being a nice guy. Why you don't like being you. This is why you feel lost and unhappy in life. Why video games aren't fun anymore. All of these things are extremely relatable. And look at the thumbnails he's using. He's using memes. He's using Minecraft. He's using animated stuff. This is all targeting his audience. Because that's what they want. They're that age. So titles are directly targeting the viewer. It resonates with the specific conditions. It perfectly matches the awareness. This is ideal customer profile. Thumbnails resonate with the problem. So yeah, he's targeting the problems they feel. He's talking about how he feels the way they feel. Cool. Familiarity, consistency. So here we have consistently posting for a long time. And look at the way the thumbnails look. They're very familiar. I remember clicking on a lot of these guys. I watched so many of these. Very familiar. That was a great video, by the way. Same here. Posting frequently with consistency for years. Similar thumbnails create familiarity.
No.
Yeah, simple. Authenticity, humanity. So Hamza was so good at this. He had a second channel, which he called Hamza Unfiltered, where he would just talk about his thing. He would talk about his failures. He talk about successes. Like, he was really the first one to kind of make that I know that had like a real cult following on YouTube by using these principles.
I need to change it myself, man.
This is like a lot more like relatability and humor, but he would use this Jeffrey versus Adonis analogy, and he used these in all of his intros. So this was specific to his audience. Like, do you see the level of detail here? Like, he could have just sat down and made videos like he used to, but instead he went in depth on creating an entire like world for his audience and just a cult following. Also, the way that he spoke. So he changed his voice a lot when I first started following him. So he went from like just talking like I normally am to, hello, it's Hamza. In today's video, we're going to talk about how you can get girls. He just developed this warm and happy, smiley kind of, look at him. He's Hamza, right? Yeah, confidence with humility. Pretty cool. Humor and storytelling. He used these storytelling things like perfection. So the first 30 seconds was this hyper animated scene which displayed what his audience was going through and how they felt about it, which was the problem he would target in his video. I mean, he nailed it, guys. He was crushing it. Reciprocity, creativity. Here he is posting hour-long guides for men. He could have charged $100 for that, but he gave them away. Attractiveness, confidence, like I mean, it's Hamza, right? He's an attractive
Yeah, this
looking
one
dude,
looks.
super confident.
This one looks like him.
Skill and social proof, like his comment section was full of testimonials. Like he was like social proof the whole time. Anti-beneficiary bias, he would give away a lot of stuff. Yeah, you guys can check out all the breakdowns and all this, but he did this the whole time, man. The Cult Leader 5, he would justify failures, encourage dreams. Remember, he used to throw rocks at other YouTubers way back in the day. I think we've all learned that lesson. Like, it's not a great strategy. But whenever we all first started out, we were like, oh, why this person's a scammer, and you shouldn't, buy this person's thing. The guy sucks. So, like, he's always throwing rocks at enemies. And he did that versus Andrew Kirby. What's funny is him and Andrew are like friends now, which is hilarious. But he used to crap on him so much. Yeah, so pretty cool. That's Hamza. We have a note for Dan Coe. What I'm actually doing is we're going to go over the Mint Mobile because I think it's be cool to see how a personal brand does it versus like this is a brand. If you don't know Mint Mobile, they are a phone company. So a service provider, cell service provider. It's like the oldest freaking boomer industry you could think of that doesn't have hardly any like new innovation. But Mint Mobile is winning.
Too much.
They are making their own space in the market because of how good their marketing is. So check this out. Relatability, similarity. They use casual vocab and similar words to people in everyday conversations.
People might like this.
So customer care that actually cares. Super short wait times, easy to speak with an actual human. Look at how they're using this. Like it's subtle, but it's a huge difference, especially in a market where people feel just betrayed by the big players in that space. For those people having up. Familiarity, consistency. Branding is consistent everywhere. So Mint Mobile, they have this Mint branding all the time. Most of their ads are Ryan Reynolds because I think he's the owner of it. So every ad they're used to seeing Ryan Reynolds' face. Pretty simple. Look at this. Look at this authenticity, humanity. How are our prices so low? Imagine that is your thing, right? Like this is they're trying to this is a boomer business model. This is not selling info here. These are selling like freaking cell service, and they're saying this. We don't hate you. Transparency, care, no efforts. See, we're not kidding. It's just cool. The language they're using, all their like marketing is super chill. It's like you're watching your friends' videos. On 420, they put this. The only herb we care. In his ads, Ryan talked confidently, a lot of conviction, but is still humble. And so here we have like a little, Mint Mobile versus these people. Yeah, pretty chill. Humor and storytelling is everything. Like, humor is how they do their ads. Like, every single thing they do is just so funny. It's hilarious. Like, look at this. To pay another Verizon bill. Look at it. It's just funny, dude. They got it going on with the marketing for real. Reciprocity, they give a lot of free stuff. Pretty cool. Attractiveness and confidence. I mean, look, it's Ryan Reynolds' brand. Of course, he's freaking attractive. But also the brand is too. The branding is nice. The Fox is just chilling. Skill and social proof. Yeah. Anti-beneficiary bias. Non-needy. Everything they do is non-needy. It's very nice. Their marketing's on point, guys. This is what a pro marketer looks like in the 21st century. And then, yeah, they throw a lot of they do a lot of throwing rocks at enemies, which I think is really cool. So it uses the hashtag Verizon sucks. The letters and codes map onto the keypad as their actual phone hotline number, and this code means Verizon, I hate you. So this is their number, and it comes out to Verizon, I hate you. It's just so funny. Yeah, that's so funny. So anyways, those are just a few examples of how to use this. I've got some more over here. So there's Apple, if you want to check that out, Blue, and Dan Coe. There's a lot of this good stuff on Dan Coe. Dan Coe did this incredibly as well. So you guys can check out how to do this. But I want to say this is just kind of some nice overviews. It goes so much deeper than this. If you notice how people do stuff, you'll see this everywhere. And I don't have time to break down every single YouTube video these guys do, but as you're watching the videos, notice how they're using these things. Because most of this is used at top of funnel, because that's when you want people to start liking you and trusting you. So before you can get them on a sales call and sell them, they need to like and trust you to some extent. That's why all this is very, very important. So that being said, I don't want you to sit here and watch, scroll on your phone for a little bit and think, oh yeah, I learned a lot today. This is great. Good job, KJ. Appreciate it. And go make no money. I make these videos so you can change your life, make some money. And so here's what I want you to do by the end of this week. Super simple. I want you to write down 3 brands that you really like. So brands or people. It could be just a comedian. It could be, I don't know. It could be anybody. Just find 3 brands or people that you like. Then I want you to use this Miro template. So I'm going to give you guys this template. And I gave you an example of Hamza here. And then we've got, I forgot to change that. We've got 3 places for you to take screenshots and make notes of 3 examples. I want you to break down those people that you like and figure out how are they being relatable and similar? How are they being familiar? How are they being authentic, happiness? If you want to, you can do this with mine. If you go to my daily channel, like I'm practicing a lot of these. Almost every single one of them, I'm practicing and leveling up by doing those daily videos. So if you want to check that out, you can. And I want you to write down tactics that you learned that you might be able to use in your own copy and marketing. That will give you a head start on learning these concepts and putting them into a full marketing strategy. Well done. Pat yourself on the back when you finish this, because you deserve it. 99.9% of people are not going to take the action. They're not going to do it. And they're not going to learn what you're going to learn. So, congrats to you. But anyways, I know this is a long one, but this one is freaking powerful. I mean, I've had more fun making some modules than I think almost any other module. This is dope. Quick reminder, if you want me to crank out more modules like this one, and even better, just let me know what you thought. Let me know if you have any wins, any mental breakthroughs, any realizations you had during this course, and put it in the Course Wins channel in the Copy Leak Discord. Because honestly, selfishly, guys, it picks me up, to be honest. Like when I'm having a hard day, I look at those wins and I think, this is why I do it. This is why I spend freaking 20 hours on one Google Doc, is because it helps you guys. And so if it's helping you, let me know. If it's not helping you, then leave me some constructive feedback and I'll try to make it better. But if it's genuinely helping you, please just let me know. And we share these in my team Slack. Like we share them every time we see them, and everyone just gets so excited. So thank you so much. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next module. All right, welcome back to Module 4, the Pain and Confidence module. I'm excited because this one took a long time to make, but man, is it freaking powerful. Every person I've shown this to that's helped me get feedback for iteration on this has been blown away by the clarity and the power of what you're about to get from this module. So without further ado, let us dive in. What we're going to cover today is the significance of pain, how to generate pain in your audience, and then how to leverage that pain you generate to create the actions you want. As always, disclaimer, I highly recommend watching every previous module before you watch this one, because we're going to build on the concepts we've already talked about. So if you don't understand those well, it'll be harder and more complicated for you to get what we're going to go over today.
Wow.
But if you do go through those previous modules, you will have an amazing foundation which we can lay on some more structure to that foundation to make you a freaking money printing machine.
This one knows so much.
So let's dive in. First things first, the action equation. So like we spoke about, your job as a copywriter is to create action. You want to create these beliefs and create the actions in your audience. You want them to click on the thumbnails. You want them to click on the email subject line. You want them to click the call to action. You want them to watch the video. All those things are actions, and we want to stimulate those in our audience. How do we do that? We do that by creating pain, because pain fuels action. And we can visualize this with what I call the action equation. Let's take a look. We'll zoom in a little bit. On the left-hand side, we have the pain of inaction minus the pain of action plus confidence in action gives us the chance of action. If that's a little bit confusing, do not worry. This whole module is breaking down this one equation. But basically what this means is if the pain of inaction is greater than the pain of taking the action, and they're confident that that action will alleviate that pain, they'll take action. Very simple illustration. If you have your hand on the stovetop and it's not on, meaning the pain of not moving your hand is not high because it's not hot, as you turn up and hotter, the pain of you doing nothing, meaning leaving your hand there, gets great. And the pain of you moving it, the energy it takes for you to just move your hand is super low. And you're confident that if you move your hand, it'll stop burning. So what do? You move your hand. That is the first principle action equation. And we're going to tie this in to copy, all that good stuff, but just recognize this is why anyone would take any action. And when you understand that, you gain insight, you gain power. So right now, if you're having trouble persuading people, which means like if you're not making any money, then this is your problem. This equation will show you what to fix by focusing on the pain. And if you want to become an effective copywriter, an effective entrepreneur, an effective marketer, whatever, you must become a master of pain. You must learn where pain comes from. You must learn how to create pain in your audience. You must learn how to leverage that pain into the specific actions you're looking for. And we're going to cover each of these in this module. This module is going to go in depth on this equation so you can become that master of pain and start creating the actions you want immediately. Warning, these concepts are powerful. If you're excited right now, you should be. But I want you to understand, by learning to create pain, you influence how someone acts. So promise me, please promise me, you'll focus on creating productive pain, meaning pain that leads to someone creating positive change in their life. So pain can cause you to lose weight, or pain can cause you to fall for a scam. And so you, the person that's creating the pain in your audience, it's your responsibility to do this wisely. Do not go out here and overpromise and scam and do what's given this space such a bad rep already. Don't do those things. Use pain for good. When people hit rock bottom and they change their life, you realize what that is, right? It's this equation. Rock bottom is when someone's pain of not changing gets so great that they change. We want to create those painful scenarios. We want to fast forward and help someone hit rock bottom quickly before their life gets worse so that they change their life for the better. That's like losing weight. You've heard of people who literally hit this certain number of weight, or they look in the mirror one day and they just can't take it anymore, and they drop like 100 pounds over the next 6 months. Just like a switch flips. We want to create that in our audience to help them. Versus, I remember back like about 15 years ago, my granddad almost fell for this phone scam because someone called him and said, "Hey, it's my cousin. I have a cousin named Amanda. She's awesome, but she was like in college at the time or something, and someone called and said, 'Hey, Amanda, she's in college. She's in trouble. She needs you to send money to this account like right now.'" So what they did is they created pain, my granddad, to try to leverage that to get his money, to scam him. But that's why they did it. They created pain. So by telling him this situation of like his granddaughter being in all this trouble and the only way to help her is if he sends money, they leveraged pain to create action. But it wasn't productive pain. It was pain that brings misery, that brings evil. Promise me you'll focus on using pain for good. Also, this applies to who you work for. If you are selling a product that you know is not morally in line with what you believe, brother, don't stop fooling yourself. Okay? If you're helping sell a product that brings misery to people, you realize you're playing a part. You're an accomplice. So just want to put that out there. All right, with that out of the way, let us dig in. So the first thing is pain origins. Until we breathe our last breath, or Jesus comes back, Lord willing that happens before we all breathe our last breath, we're continuously in some form of pain. This is the curse of the fall of man. When Adam, the first human, disobeyed God for the first time, he created sin, separation from God. And part of that punishment is we're going to have to be in pain. We're going to have to work the land and girls have to go through the pain of child labor. So pain got introduced when sin came to the world. And because we're all sinners and in need of Jesus, until we go to be with Jesus or until we breathe our last, we're always going to be in some form of pain. So, highly recommend you. If you haven't seen the mindset module, go check it out. We talk about God and all this, and go into detail with that. But just understand that everyone, all the time, is continuously in some form of pain. And while that may sound a bit weird and depressing, it isn't. Because just like we talked about a second ago, pain motivates us. Pain is why we work. It's why we set goals. It's why we create solutions. But understand that although we may be all experiencing some form of pain, we aren't always aware of that pain. And we don't always know what's causing that pain. So right now, I'm recording this module. I am in flow state. I'm being careful to choose my words carefully. I'm trying to say and stutter and do all this. I'm trying to talk loudly and clearly. I'm so focused on my work, I'm dialed in, that I'm not aware of whatever little pains I've got. Like, for instance, my thumb is always cut. I don't feel it right now because I'm in flow state. I'm not aware of it. And so just because someone's in pain doesn't mean that they understand it and they're aware of it. And so our job as a copywriter is to bring awareness to the pain your audience is in. And then we're going to blame that pain on a specific problem that our product and service solves. In that second half, we'll go into detail in the next module in problem chains. But before you can blame that pain on a problem, you need to figure out how to bring awareness to the pain. And this is also why we love distracting ourselves from life and from work. Think about why you play video games and stuff. Is most of the time you're trying to escape the feeling of pain from not doing enough work, or the feeling of pain from your life not going how you want it to.
What?
This is why we have,
ugly.
ignorance is bliss and flow state and doom scrolling. People are considered to be the happiest they are in their life when they're in flow state, because they're distracted from the pains that's going on around them.
I don't know how I feel about
And they're actively, usually working to solve some sort of pain. So not only are you distracted from your current pain, but you're decreasing your future pain by working on the thing that matters. So it's like a double-edged sword. First is doom scrolling, or just choosing to be ignorant. That's kind of just ignoring the pain and doing nothing about it and just distracting yourself. And so because everyone is in this state, we have to help them bring awareness to their pain and start taking the action that's going to better their life. And like I said, remember, we're doing this to help people change for the better. Positive pain. This is a good thing. Here's an amazing message that I got from Joven a couple months ago. One of the guys in CE, and he's talking about the pain of investment. And because he invested his time and money in Copy Elite, he started taking massive action like he never had before. He started doing harder work sessions and accomplishing harder things because that pain was there. He's saying if he spent $200 or even $1,000, he would have procrastinated and not taken action on sending outreach, not making his offer. So because he went through the pain of committing and investing and taking time and being part of his community, I mean, you guys have seen his win spells. It's been awesome. So shout out to you, Joe. But that's our job here. We're trying to create scenarios like this, to use pain to better someone's life, not destroy it. So let's talk about that. The first step to creating pain is by understanding where pain comes from, the pain origins. And these are kind of like the pre-coded things in our brains and bodies that signal pain. This is what God has kind of coded us to strive for. And so whenever we don't have these things, pain happens. Why? Because we need these things. That's how we're programmed. And this can be explained from Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This explains what our core desires are.
I think it's getting out of hand.
And when these core desires aren't being met, that is when we feel pain. So let's start from the bottom. Number 1, physiological needs. Also, do you guys like this? This took me so long to make. This took me so long to make this diagram, but yeah, I think it was worth it. It looks cooler than the ones I found on Google. Anyways, side note. Starting from the bottom, physiological needs. These are the things that we need to survive. This is just like staying alive, right? So number one, staying alive, physiological needs. Air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, reproduction. This is like our, kind of like the monkey brain, the very, very core monkey brain. We need air, water, food, we want to sleep, we need clothes, and we need to reproduce. So that's like the base core needs. And what we'll talk about is you usually start from the bottom and work your way up. And so if you're starving to death, you're not worried about self-actualization. You're not worried about status or recognition. You're literally starving. All you care about is finding a steak. And so that's kind of how this hierarchy works, is you start from the bottom and work your way up. The second one is safety needs. So once you have your air, water, food, you're surviving, now you want to feel safe. You want to be free from fear and danger. So like security, you want to have employment. That's why people like jobs.
Wow,
they
that's
feel
a big
safe.
difference.
Is a job safer than entrepreneurship?
Oh, those are nice.
I could argue not really, because now you don't have any real skills for the most part. And if you get fired automatically, what are you going to do? But they feel safe. And so by having that feeling of safety, it's valuable because they feel less pain, because they feel stable at a job where they don't have to think for themselves.
Wow.
Not everybody's cut out for this game.
So
I'm going to be straight up. In fact, most people are not.
That looks nice.
Most people are meant to be employees. There's nothing wrong with that. It's only wrong if you're the person who has that entrepreneurial gift that God has programmed you with, and you're not using it, or you're not trying to use it. You're ignoring it. But most people like that safety of employment.
I want to be an employee.
One of the coolest feelings that I've had in the past year is hitting this point where I realize, you know what? If I lost everything, I have all these skills where I feel like I can make at least $10K a month by the end of the year doing anything. Like if you just put me in the middle of anything, based off the skills and how I've learned how to learn and my communication and all this stuff, I feel like I could be back at 6 figures a year. And at that just level, like security in that, it just feels amazing. Some safety. But most of the time we're talking about physical safety, like fear from actual danger. So once you have food and stuff, like you want to have security. So there's a lot of people in like lower progressed countries. Someone got mad at me for saying third world countries the other day, but anyway, that's how I explain it. In third world countries where they're having war and stuff, this is a huge deal. So once they have food, like they want to be safe. They want safety from this warfare. So that's a big one. Next is sexual companionship, significant other. This kind of goes into love and belonging. So friendship, intimacy, family. Number 3 and 4 are kind of in the same exact level here. So 3 and 4 come from this yellow level, which is you want to have a relationship, a significant other. Then you want to have love and belonging. You want to feel like you're part of a community. You want to have friends. You want to have intimate relationships. You want to have family, a sense of connection and belonging in a community. Yeah, so that's number 3 and 4. Number 5 is status and respect. This is probably like the biggest one that you're going to target with most of your copy. Most of you with all your copy will be targeting status and respect to some extent, especially if you're in like the entrepreneurship space, coaching, whatever. That's a big one. So this is like respect for yourself, self-esteem, the status you have in the world, your recognition, your strength, being able to provide for yourself. Yeah, superiority. You want to feel like the best. You want to feel like the winner, superior to everyone else. It's the pride, the pride that our simple nature loves so much, and we try to avoid. Number 6, fulfillment of purpose, self-actualization. This is the desire to be the most that one can be. So to fulfill the purpose, I believe this is directly. There's a reason God programmed this into it. It's because He has a purpose for you and for me. He's given us specific gifts that we are supposed to use to serve God and to serve people, to expand His kingdom, to tell others about Jesus. There's a reason I started this offer. It's because I was gaining all of these things, but I wasn't gaining this one. I was helping other people who had a lot of money make more money. Instead, I wanted to tell people about God through the gifts He's given me, through my ability to teach, and through my love for teaching and communication and community that we have in Copy Elite. This is mine. It's like once you have all these things, you start worrying about, you know what is my purpose? What is my self-actualization? All this stuff. This is also why you see people, they hit 10K a month and they have like a crisis because they realize like they were trying to solve all this. They hit 10K a month and they're like, frick, now what? Why am I doing this? Like, what's going on? What's the point of all this? What's the point of this money? All this? They go through another breakdown because they realize that there's a whole other level that they need to solve now. And shout out to the real ones who solved this before you hit 10K a month. That's the way to go. But anyways, this is where our pain comes from. And so, like I said, pain can be traced back to one or more of these desires missing or being in question, being compromised. And so, when your esteem, when your status is being compromised, or you have no status, you feel pain. When you don't have love, or maybe your relationship is in question, your love is in question, you feel pain. You want to do something about it. And like I said, it usually starts from number one and works its way up the pyramid. So you go from staying alive to freedom from fear and danger, to sexual companionship, to social approval, belonging, to status, to purpose, and then enjoying food and drink. I forgot about this one. It's funny because this is a core part of humanity. Is we like to enjoy food and drink. It just is what it is. There's not many people who would prefer to eat bad tasting food over good tasting food, given the similar circumstances. So this is a core drive. You want to have food and drink that tastes good. And this can kind of go in any spot. Like, this doesn't really follow an order. Staying alive is always number one, but after that, it's like you could have good food there, you can have good food later, after you get a girlfriend. I mean, it's kind of just there all the time. All right. Once an origin is solved for you, you usually want to solve it for your family. Usually. So, like, if you're starving, once you solve that, before you go and solve, your status and respect, you probably want to help your family. And so this is a really important thing to understand, because someone could be doing something to solve the pain that their family is feeling from one of these. Really, really important. Listen to that again if you missed that. Once a pain origin is solved for yourself, you usually want to solve it for your family, especially when it's one of these bottom ones. Like, if your family's dying, you want to help them get food quick. Makes sense. And most people do not realize the origin of their pain. They aren't aware of it. They just feel bad, and they just blame that bad on problems. So, for example, when you guys came to me to join Copy Elite, you probably weren't like, oh, KJ, I just can't seem to become the person I want to be the most. Or, KJ, I just need to regain this feeling of strength and self-esteem I have in myself. No, what did you tell me? You said, I need money. KJ, I need money. So you verbalize this pain origin as needing money. You think money's going to give you these things. Because money does bring a lot of these things. Money does help you cover your physiological needs, cover your safety needs. You think it'll help you, have status and respect and belonging. And so you tie these origins into one problem being, I need money. Money can solve money problems, but it can't solve all your problems. And that's referring straight to this. Some of these things money can help with. Some of them it cannot. In fact, it might hurt. So keep in mind, people don't realize the origin. That's why we have to tie it around a problem. Or we have to meet them at their awareness level. We'll talk about that in detail next modules. But an example is, whenever you're doing a sales call and you hear like, oh, my life sucks or my business sucks, but they can't verbalize what suck means. Like, what does that actually mean? You've got to dig it out of them and help them become aware of why they're in pain. Someone goes, oh, I hate being in college. It's like, well, why do you hate being in college? It all comes back to this. Is it because you feel like you're not living your purpose in college? Is it because you don't have a sense of connection with the people who are in college? You don't have the same... Like, think about it. You guys who are in this community, how alike we feel, and how funny it is to talk about how similar we are compared to how different we are to the entire rest of the world out there. You didn't have that connection in college. I know I didn't. I didn't know a single entrepreneur in college. It was me. I felt like it was me against the world, and I was just crazy. So That's why college, quote unquote, sucked. It's because of these. And so you want to dig that out of them. If you understand why they feel that way, you have all this leverage to create insane amounts of pain that they didn't even know where it was coming from or that it existed. It's like I said earlier, your job as a copywriter is to bring awareness to the pain your audience is in and then blame that pain on a specific problem that your product and service solves. Once again, we'll go over the second half next module. But for now, how do we bring awareness? How do we cause the pain? Let's jump in. This is where things get tactical. So the first step is increasing the pain of inaction. So this is like the traditional thought. Whenever you hear increasing pain, this is what you're probably thinking about, which is making their life seem sucky. How do you make it feel like where they're at is terrible and they need to change? So like if you're follow some of the other people's teaching when they talk about there's 3 closes, right? You sell people on changing, you sell them on your method, and you sell them on your product, which fulfills the method. This is the first step. So selling them on change. If they don't think their life sucks, why would they want to change anything? They wouldn't. And that's not binary. That's a spectrum. Just like when people are about to lose weight, they didn't want to lose weight all the way up from like 150 to 160, 170, 180, whatever. And then as soon as they got to 250, they saw that number. They're just like, I can't do this anymore. I have to change. That pain was building the whole time. But there's a threshold that it hits where like it's larger than the pain of action. So what we have to do first is increase the pain they feel right now. This is like the stovetop example. So in this example, this is you cranking up the heat on the stove to where they want to change. And so by increasing the pain of inaction, meaning the pain of doing nothing and things getting worse, you increase the pressure they feel to take action and solve the problem. So your goal is to increase the pain they feel about the problem they have, increasing the pain they feel from doing nothing. Once again, you're selling them on changing. They need to change. Now, we do this by leveraging the work you've already done in Module 1, specific conditions. So this should be so easy now that you've already done the hard work of figuring out what situations your audience is in and what problems do they have. So we can create pain using positive or negative emotions. You might think, oh, well, a positive emotion, how does that create pain? You'll see in a second. Pain can be caused by just needing to escape. Like, pain is needing to change something, to escape your current situation. And we can do that in a positive or negative way. Now, negative emotions are naturally more powerful, but when they're overused, they come across as more pushy and fear-mongering. So be careful using too many negative emotions. It can cause like this bad taste in your audience's mouth from your messages, and it can come across as kind of a little pushy, a little scammy, a little fear-mongering. So just use it tastefully, but it is very powerful. So let's go over a positive angle. So a positive angle would be talking about the dream situation your audience has. So what do they want to be at? What is the mountaintop? What is the vacation? How do you sell them the vacation? And extremely importantly, how do they want to feel when that's happening? By talking about how they're going to feel, that's what brings up the emotions times 10. So if I just say, oh, you wake up and you have 3 clients, it's like that doesn't bring a whole lot of emotion to you. There's a stretch that you have to take on your own. Versus if I say you wake up and you open up your laptop and you see that Stripe screenshot of you just got a $1,500 in from your second client of this month, and the feeling of accomplishment just rushes over you because you'll be able to not only pay your rent but save an extra $500 a month, which you could use to help your family, and they'll finally see you as that person who's the provider, and you're just content with the man that you've become. Do you feel how different that is? Way different. But notice, as soon as I said that, what probably happened? Pain, because you're not there yet. So by creating a larger gap from making the vacation seem so wonderful and the dream life seem so great, pain is created because you're not there. Why do you think the meta for selling info has been the same for the past 10 years, right? Show you a massive Lamborghini and how dope my life is and how everything in my life is great and I'm rich and I buy watches and yeah, you're poor. Buy my thing, which tells you how to get these Lamborghinis. Because they're using this angle by showing you how amazing their life is, or quote unquote, how much amazing it seems in a 10-minute video. You feel pain. And they don't even have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just showing you how quote unquote great their life is, and that creates pain, which causes you to book a call through their funnel and buy their program. That's exactly how it works. It's a positive angle. So I consider this running to the light. So this is like running towards something. This is what this pain causes.
I need to fix this one.
Negative angle.
Fix it.
This is where you use a nightmare situation and how they hate to feel, and they feel pain from being stuck there. So by bringing their attention to their sucky past, present, or future situation and how bad they felt, they feel right now, or they will feel if they don't change, they feel pain. So if I talk about, hey, you know, this, because you don't have a proven outreach system, is why you're continually sending outreach after outreach, hating your life, procrastinating every day, because deep down you know these low quality outreaches are not going to work. You've already sent 1,000, and you're sitting here wondering if this is all worth it. Are you destined for this path, or are you just another failure? Are you going to sit here and let other people sign client after client after client while you're sitting here sending these DMs that you just know are not going to work, and you're wasting time? And you don't even know if you'll be able to pull this off. If you'll be able to make enough money online to do this full time. You don't know if you'll live up to your purpose. And you feel ashamed. You don't feel good enough. You feel like you're just another average person, like the world expected you to be.
What's that?
Whew, yeah, that's painful, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh man, the negative part is powerful, but you gotta be careful, man. Once again, use this for a positive action, but be careful creating negative pain, because it's powerful. It hurts. And there's a classic study done where, I might be butchering it, but basically what happens is, if you ask someone if they'll walk 2 miles and to get $20, they'll be like, I'm good. But if you tell them they drop $20 2 miles back, they'll walk to go get it. Because people don't like loss. They don't like the negative stuff. And so negative can be more beneficial than positive. It's the same thing, right? That you're gaining $20 than you were in this current moment. But because it's negative, you don't want to lose, it's more powerful, you go do it. You take action. So just be careful. Let's go over some examples to show you what this looks like. So anytime you're creating pain, it can be positive or negative. And you can choose. Let's go over just some really basic examples. I just don't judge me for these. I just spun these up in like 5 minutes. Using some examples from other copy and just, yeah. But let's go over fitness. So let's say, copy this step-by-step calisthenics system to unlock skills and make people look at you like you're a famous athlete in only 3 to 6 months. So here, what are we doing? Unlocking skills that what? Make people look at you like a famous athlete. What are we targeting here? We're targeting some status, right? Notice how they're doing that. But this is painting a dream outcome. And because you don't have skills and people don't look at you like a famous athlete, you feel pain from this. First is the negative approach. Copy the system and say goodbye to the embarrassment of looking, feeling, and being frail. So this is kind of actually positive by saying say goodbye, but you get the point. To the embarrassment of looking, feeling, and being frail. So in positive angle, we're going towards how they feel when they're the beast. Here we're targeting how they feel right now. The pain of looking and feeling and being frail. Notice how we're talking about the feeling, the embarrassment, how they feel that. It's a situation that they're like going back to in their mind. All right, let's take a look at e-com. Once you know the one secret to finding a high quality product for your store, you'll unlock what feels like an infinite money wish. Here we're talking about a feeling that they kind of imagined from their video game era. Feeling the rush of each cha-ching, knowing you're one step closer to living life completely free. Notice what I did here is, I'm talking about freedom and and purpose, self-actualization, and they inherently kind of think about status during this. So that's positive. Let's look at negative. Without knowing the one secret to finding a high-quality product for your store, you will stay broke forever, never escaping the dreadful feeling of having to clock in to work on Monday. So here it's a nightmare scenario that they're stuck in, and in this we're bringing attention, awareness to this awful feeling that they've experienced of having to clock back in. It's just like, oh man, I hate them. Terrible feeling. Here's a really simple example with YouTube titles. So look at how you can do positive or negative. So the 5 habits of the top 1% men, or the 5 habits keeping men weak. The same exact content, just positive versus negative. And we'll go over examples later in this module of a lot more of how to create pain. So if you don't 100% get it yet, don't worry. But just know that you talk about a dream situation plus how they want to feel about it. And they feel pain from not being there. Or you talk about a nightmare situation and how they hate feeling about it. I just messed up that diagram. I just realized it's supposed to be a negative. And the pain they feel from being stuck there. So dream situation, how they want to feel. Nightmare situation, how they hate feeling. You're going to bring up pain. Now, how potent this is 100% depends on how well you've done the earlier modules. So it's all about specific conditions. It's all about general conditions. It's all about the liking, relatability. Are you using language that they frick with? Are you going over situations that they're actually in, that are actually painful to them? That's what makes this powerful. This is just like another framework, but this is why I have to teach this course in full, because like none of these things are going to save you on their own. But by having understanding of all of these things, that's when you become powerful, a full stack marketer. So bonus tech is story selling. So this is kind of how you can do the same thing, but using your own story. This is really good for personal brands and for stuff like that. By telling the story of how you went from their painful situation, so this one up here, to the dream outcome, which is this one, they kind of live through you, and they feel the same emotions that you felt because it's so similar to their story. You indirectly bring awareness to their pain. So they imagine themselves in your shoes, and they want to do / take the action that you took to get your results. And the reason why this works is when you nail your past scenario, it sounds exactly like their past scenario. So if they're listening to your story and they're like, dude, that is me right now. What the heck? I'm in that same scenario. I feel the same way you feel. I'm going through the same struggles. And then they hear about you solving all that problem and getting the outcome that they want. They want to follow in your footsteps and do whatever it is that you do to do that. So like I said, this works for every form of traffic, but specifically powerful when the product or service you're selling is attached to a person or personal brand. This doesn't mean organic content. I just mean a personal brand. So even if you're running cold ads or something like that, and there's someone selling it, like it's not just like an e-com brand, like there's actually a face behind the person who's selling it, this can be extremely powerful using story selling. So a good example is our current low awareness funnel right now. So this is for people from my Raw channel who have no idea what copywriting is. We send them to this page where it's a story selling. Now, eventually, we're not going to use this in the future, but we had to do this for right now. So it's a great example. I'll scroll through it real quick. Basically, you see me. I'm talking about how I felt pain. I had one goal, and because I wasn't hitting this goal, I felt pain. So I talked about how it sucks. I tried and failed it. All these things suck. Then I saw this one thing, this one skill. I talked about feeling pain. I didn't make any money. I considered getting another job to get my wife out of the apartment we were stuck in. But I discovered the most valuable skill, which is copywriting. And I talked about my journey of achieving my dream outcome. So here you have my plan, then boom, dream outcome. I hit 10K a month. Whoa, it's crazy. I helped other people do 10K a month. I did 60K a month. Insane, all from running copywriting. Here's some crazy results from our students. So you see how I'm using the story from my example to bring them through the journey that they want to go on. So like I said, it's really good for people who are less aware of what you're doing. So like I give this funnel to my main channel because they're already sold on copywriting. They don't need to be sold on copywriting. The outreach systems and like the principles we teach in this program. So anyways, get the point. Also, writing B2C VSLs. This selling masterclass, so feel free to go through that inside the high ticket course. This one's great, so go check that out if you want more on that. But yeah, storytelling can be a good way to do the negative and positive angle in a very low-key, indirect way. Now, like I mentioned earlier, it's vitally important. Do not forget everything you've learned so far. The amount of pain that you're able to create depends on how well you understand and use specific conditions, general conditions, and the variables of likeness. If you can't do those three things, you're going to be shooting in the dark, creating pain. So once you know those, you have these frameworks, you understand the origins, all of a sudden you can create insane amounts of pain almost effortlessly. But once again, if you talk about situations and feelings that don't match what your audience wants to feel, you won't create pain. Specific conditions are everything. If you're selling a workout program and you're targeting people who want to lose weight, but your audience is all about people who want to bulk up and they're tired of being skinny, then you talk about situations of them feeling overweight doesn't match your audience. They're not going to feel pain because they've not gone through that. And so it all depends on specific conditions. Also, the more you nail the variables of likeness when you're creating pain, the more confidence they have that you'll solve that pain later. So you guys probably won't get this till you watch this module again for the second and third time, but when we go over confidence later, the more specific and the more relatable and perfect you nailed their pains, the more confidence that they have as well. So not only are you creating pain, but you're creating confidence because they're like, wow, this guy has been through what I've been through. He knows it. And if he figured it out, I have confidence he'll help me with it because he understands it so well. It's so in detail to what I'm exactly feeling. And that comes from nailing the variables of likeness, being specific. We can also increase the pain of inaction by pushing the big FOMO general condition. So what we talked about in general condition, using big and FOMO, they feel this pain of staying still. The pain of not taking action is great when something feels big and FOMO, like you gotta take action now. Because you don't want to wait. You could miss it. So the pain of doing nothing increases when you use this general condition. Also, by using urgency and scarcity. So that'll be covered in the urgency and scarcity module in detail. But urgency and scarcity is huge when it comes to putting the cherry on top to the pain of inaction. Cool. We'll cover that in detail later. Now, decreasing pain of action. So once again, you can't just increase the pain of inaction. You want to decrease the pain of action. So if it's super painful, like the reason people don't lose weight is because it's hard, right? It's not that they don't feel a lot of pain for being fat. Of course they feel pain for being fat. Who doesn't? You know what I'm saying? But the pain of getting unfat is too great, so they do nothing. That's why they don't take action. But if you gave every single fat person a big red button that says lose 50 pounds and all they had to do is press it, guess what? Every one of them is pressing it. I don't care what they're coping and saying. Anyone who's trying to be like, oh yeah, being fat is like cool. Brother, no it's not. It's not healthy for you. It's not honoring God with your body. And trust me, this is coming from someone who weighed close to 200 pounds and I'm a short dude. I was not healthy. I'm not going to put up a picture, but you can just imagine it if you really want to. If you want to create pain for yourself right now. It's all about decreasing the pain of action. And so if you make it easy as possible, they push a button and they get this outcome, they lose the pounds, they make the money, guess what? They'll take the action. This is how a lot of people sell info, right? Is they make all these videos and stuff telling you that, oh dude, it's so easy. If you just write 3 emails, using AI, if you just use AI to build you an online product and sell it, dude, you'll make 10K a month in like 2 weeks. They make it seem like it's a push button, when in reality, it's just a lot harder than that. But what does that do? It creates the energy in you to take action. Because you're like, dude, yeah, let me do that. And so once again, it's an equation here. The lower you can get this, the higher chance you're going to take action. So by decreasing the perceived pain of taking the action you want, the more likely they are to take action. This is done by following the previous text and subtext module. So we covered this in detail in text and subtext. This is by using general and specific conditions to push the new, easy, safe emotions. By pushing these emotions, this is what they do. This is why they work. If something seems new, it seems like it's going to work. There's less pain of action. It's brand new. It's new tech. You just have this hope, which decreases the pain of action. When something seems easy, it literally is decreasing the pain of action. Like if something's hard versus easy, you're more likely to take the easier option because there's less pain involved, right? Same with safe. Safe says, hey, that's a terrible. That's a weird little thing there. Safe implies that I'm cracking myself up 40 minutes into these modules, man. I'm telling you. Safe implies that there's going to be less pain in the future of like risk, and so there's less pain of action. So you're decreasing the perceived pain of taking that action, making the action seem easy, simple, fast, painless. It's very simple. Just make it easy for them to take the action you want. I kicked up my email list the other day because I've been busy doing this stuff. I haven't been sending emails. And I wanted to re-engage people, like re-engage the list. And so what I did was I simply sent an email saying, hey, I want to start making some new master classes on YouTube for you guys. What do you want to see? But I didn't say it like that. I said, just shoot me a quick reply, so it made it seem easy, with any suggestions you might think of. And then I gave them examples. I said funnel building, emails, I don't know what I said, AI, like sales pages. I gave them all these examples. Why? To make it brain dead easy, where they don't even have to think of the options. They just look at the list and pick one, type it, and it's good to go. And I kid you not, I had 3 full pages of responses of people telling me what they wanted. And almost all of them were something from the list that I gave. How crazy is that? So because it was easier to just pick one of the examples instead of think of their own, they took the action. So I got the action I wanted by making it easy for them. And that's one small scenario, but when your whole funnel is full of these, that's when things get interesting. So like I said, we'll cover some examples of this coming up in the future, but this is really like, you've already done the work of this. It's all about making these easy, simple, fast, painless, new, easy, safe, using that text and subtext module to make things easy. Now, creating confidence. This is important. So if you've done your job well so far, you've increased the pain they feel from not taking the action. You've decreased the pain they feel around taking the action. So now that they feel bad for not changing, and change seems easy, so now they really want to change now. It should be super easy for them to take action. But all that's left is to increase their confidence that if they take the action, it will alleviate that pain. And so if I make someone's life seem like hell because they don't know copywriting, or they don't have an outreach system, and I show them how easy it is for them to win if they had a proven outreach system for copywriters, what if they don't believe that will work? What if they're like, okay, yeah, it might work, but like not for me. I'm from wherever, or I'm from this, or I have this problem. Well, they're going to take action. And so not only do you have to create the pain, you have to create confidence that if they take that action, it will alleviate that pain. It will work. What's the percentage that if they do this, they will get the outcome? So let's go over that. Phase 1, creating confidence in you / your client you're writing for. Now, this is incredibly important when your product or service is tied to a personal brand. So it's tied to someone's face. We are not just a brand, it's a brand and someone's face. This is incredibly important. And this is done throughout the whole marketing funnel, but it's usually emphasized at top of funnel. And so this was pretty much everything we covered in last module from the variables of likeness. To create confidence, to create trust in you and what you say, you have to use the 11 variables of likeness. We have a whole, almost 2-hour module on this. So I'm not going to go into detail here, but go through that. That's what creates confidence in you, in your client. Also, like I said, specificity in the pain. So this is covered in 11 variables of likeness, but I kind of want to highlight it here. If I talk about the exact scenario that you're in watching this video, to the T, exactly what you're going through every day, how you feel, you have confidence in me that, wow, okay, this guy can help me because, man, he seems like he's gone through exactly what I'm going through and he solved it. So by being so specific, that creates confidence. Really cool. So Be specific when you're bringing up those pains. Be specific of the scenarios. Be specific of how they feel. Cool. Phase 2, creating confidence in themselves. So once they're confident in your ability to help them, which is honestly kind of the easy part, after you've been doing this for a year, it's kind of easy to create confidence in you. The hard part is they need to be confident that they can do their part to get the desired outcome. They need to believe in themselves. Also, this ties right back into the pain of action. And so if you're selling something where it requires a lot of effort on their part, like a coaching program, like just working out, like anything where someone else has to put in a lot of effort, you have to create a lot of confidence in them. And the higher the pain of action is, the more confidence you're gonna have to create in themselves. So a good example would be, meditation versus anxiety meds. So they both help do the same thing, right? I can tell you from someone who meditated for I think it was like 10,000 minutes or something. I don't know. I had a huge log of meditation. It does help. It lowers anxiety. It gives you a clearer mind. It helps you to just be more grounded and to stop anxious thoughts. Same thing anxiety meds do. But what's the problem? It requires a lot of effort. Meditation sucks mentally. Like, it's hard to sit down. It's hard to avoid distractions. It's hard to continue to focus on your breath, all this good stuff. Versus popping a pill is nothing. All you do is swallow, right? So that requires a lot less effort for anxiety meds versus meditation, which is why anxiety meds are billions of dollar industry, trillions, is because the value is because it doesn't require a lot to do. You just pop it and then it works. Also, another one could be weight loss coaching versus fat loss pills. And so someone might not have to believe in themselves to buy some pills. It's easy. You don't have to have that much confidence in yourself. You just eat the pill. Versus, if you're going to have someone coach you through weight loss, they got to believe in themselves to some extent, because they're going to be doing some sort of work, a lot more effort, like months of effort versus just 5 seconds of just swallowing a pill. So how do we do this? How do we create confidence in themselves? The first step is to write down every reason why. This should take you days. You should spend a lot of time doing this, especially whenever you're creating your offer. Make sure you've seen the offer masterclass that just came out recently from the other coaching call. But write down every single reason why someone would not be able to succeed with your product or service. Add this to your condition stack. Use your specific conditions. So if I'm selling a YouTube course and someone says, well, I'm ugly or something, write that down. That's a reason. Or they say, I'm not good at speaking to camera, or I don't have a good camera, or I don't have a good microphone, or I don't do you need to write down every single reason why someone doesn't believe in themselves. Then all you do is disprove those beliefs somewhere in your marketing or copy. And we do this using logical arguments, case studies, testimonials, personal stories, etc.
Let's see, I got a total of supposedly 38, but obviously it's not really 38. But just to say 130 something plus that would give me 237. If I can finish everything on time, it would be up to date, I guess. But most of the time, this will probably give me about, let's say 100. So that's gonna be 200. So that would be Wednesday. But then I need to spend time to finalize it. So I should probably wake up tomorrow to finalize some of these. Okay. Good night. Let's see how long this took actually. That was 2 hours 45, so 2.4 hours for this many designs. I'm doing pretty good. Sometimes I'm on a roll, sometimes I'm not. If I spend another 30 minutes, would I be able to get 52? No. I'm doing pretty good. Okay. Oh yeah, let me move this to unfinish. Yeah, right here. Let's see. How much space do I have left? 3.7 gigabyte, 313. Wow. That's a lot to finalize right there. I love those. It's more of the same colors. Gotta fix some of these for sure. It's so cute. It's so cute. This is messed up. I need to fix it. Some of them I'm not even sure anymore. Wow, it's the other colors. That's your June Grow oil. Guess I sent you there. How are we doing this holiday? Oh, so cute. It's so messed up. It's just cute.